What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Asmi Hongos, and in this video, we're gonna go into what's in my bag for 2023. My philosophy is I try to carry as little things as possible now after many, many years of carrying way too many things. And I think that the bag plays a very important role in that philosophy. As the bigger the bag, I feel the bigger the justification to carry more things in it. I went with Peak Designs Everyday 10-liter sling bag. I've fallen in love with this bag for so many reasons. It's very light, comfortable, small. Everything fits in very, very well to a certain extent. And I like that it's big enough for me to carry what I need to, but small enough that I don't carry every single thing, right? Which is what we're trying to avoid. What does kind of become an issue throughout time though is it is a messenger bag, so if I carry a general medium-sized load, it does hurt my shoulder over time. It's not very drastic, but it is noticeable. And on the strap, we have the Peak Design clip. I don't know how to feel about it just yet. I've used it several times, and I really like the convenience, but the strap is kind of flimsy, so it does fly around quite a bit. But I also think I look extremely dorky with like the 100 mil and then the R5 on there. And the mic. I just get major dad vibes from it, so I wouldn't recommend it. And inside the bag, there is like a side bag within it. And generally, I carry this pen. I know it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but this is the Uni-ball Sigma 207. I think we are always on the journey for the perfect pen. It's just like a universal truth. This is like the perfect pen in every way, shape, and form. It just feels very nice in the hand as you spin it. The cursive flows out of my hand flawlessly, not to toot my own horn. My cursive is awful, but it feels really, really right. And I really like the blue color. I also carry these Refresh Tears lubricant. Now, I'm not a doctor, but my eye doctor told me that certain brands are allowed to put the word lubricant on the eye drops, like the major companies, but they don't really lubricate your eyes. And this is the one that he recommended. Again, this is not doctor advice. I do not have a PhD in any way, shape, or form, but this is the one that he's like, this is it, homie. So I carry that with me at all times. And of course, we are all part of the water bottle club as we're all trying to save the dolphins. I actually got this as a gift, the LARQ water bottle. I made a review, and anything that I mentioned here that has a review will be in the first comment down below. But it essentially just purifies your water to like a certain extent. And I think it's just for the Silicon Valley snobs, which I feel like I am sometimes, it's overpriced in my opinion. And the people that need it the most won't get it. And the people that don't really need it tend to have it. My phone of choice at the moment is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I really love ProRes on this. This is something that I forgot to mention through my review. It is amazing to get that type of picture quality from the phone, but it just eats up memory like there's no tomorrow. And transferring it via AirDrop, it is the worst experience on the face of the planet. I am a case guy, but I have a clear case, which I think, breaks the matrix. And I really needed a kickstand. Like, I don't know how people live without the kickstand, and this is almost perfect, except if it's standing up like this and the table wobbles just a bit, it like falls to I don't know. They should have made it a triangle, but this is the best option that I found. And I also have a giant magnet on the back. And this is so that when I place it in my car, I can just go. I generally try to remove as much friction from my car starting up and me getting on the road as possible. And the giant magnet just comes in very, very handy. In addition to the phone, I have the Airpods Pro 2. I cannot live without the freaking chime. I really love it. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna say what everybody else says about the AirPods. They're great, but the only thing that's coming to concern for me is I wear these things all the time, like all day sometimes. I don't think it's healthy for my ears to have something jammed in there at all times, so I am looking for an alternative. I also carry the Apple Watch that I have a review on. I can't live without it. I have it with me at all times. I just love to do like the little chime. That thing has saved me so much freaking time because I lose absolutely everything. Then there's the bag itself. This is the Peak Design Tech Pouch, and I got it in navy. This is a really great color. You know how I was saying that the Sling bag was just so close to being perfect? Unfortunately, you kind of have to wedge it in there, like at a weird angle. So I always have to put the bag down and then like, you know, like kind of do this thing like a anaconda. It would be so awesome if I could just take it in and then out. And the reason I get a lot of Peak Design is because I love the idea of lifetime warranties. I think that's a big justification for anything that I purchase. Sure, it might cost an extra $75, $50, whatever, but lifetime warranty is better than having to repurchase the same thing over and over and over again. In the bag, the first thing that I always go to and that I probably use the most is the Intertech 10K battery pack. This isn't the best battery pack at all. There's no like amazing performance out of it, but it is the most convenient because I never have to worry about the brick coming with me, which I found with a lot of power banks. Like I'll never forget it because it's already built in, and it has Lightning, USB-C, and micro, which are all the major ones, so I'll never forget it. It does overheat though, like it's very, very thin from what you can tell, and it's kind of weird that you can feel the heat. Like I feel like there's probably like a nail of layer between it, so if you are a battery engineer, let me know if that's safe. I also love having a freaking multi-tool. You don't know how much this has saved me. It has all the tools I need for my camera, especially when I'm taking off the tripod head. This comes in so freaking handy. I learned the hard way how very well made this Swiss knife was made though. My chimp brain said, how sharp could that knife truly be? So I slid my finger over it and it cut it like butter. So be very, very cautious when you first open this thing, especially the blade. It is incredible engineering that they put into this. So I actually have two of these iPhone holders for my tripod, and I'll get to the tripod that I use in just a second. I fell in love with the tripod holder by accident, and I don't even know what brand this is. There's no brand on this, but it just works very, very well across the board because one, I can twist it side to side and up and down, and I can go portrait and landscape. I fell so much in love with it that I decided to buy a Ulanzi. I don't even know how to say this name. Ulanzi ST03. This is just a better build quality. What I do with these iPhone tripods is I place it on the Joby Gorilla Pod. And I don't feel like I need to talk about this. This is probably the most well-known small tripod. The reason that I got the biggest one is because it's the biggest one. It's gonna handle the biggest payload. The 100mm that I use is extremely heavy, and the 35 is also very heavy. This has come in very handy whenever I need an iPhone setup. People who don't use cameras get extremely confused when I say, can you record this and help me out? They don't know where the record button is. So by having a very simple iPhone setup has saved me so much time. That also brings me to the new mics that I carry that you can see on me. This is the DJI Mic. The reason that I got this one over the road is because it seemed like there was less need for an app. You don't know how annoyed I am at apps now. A few days ago, I went to a parking lot and they forced me to download an app to pay for my parking. I am trying to reduce how many apps I need to install on my freaking phone. And that's generally the biggest reason. It's USB-C, it charges within the case like Airpods, and it works really, really great. I also have the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. I've said many great things, and it's probably the standard all across YouTube time and space, so I don't really need to mention it. What I do need to mention though is the Rocketbook microfiber cloth. And this is probably my favorite cloth for so many reasons. It's just very small. It feels really great. I have like 4 of these for some odd reason, but I think that's just the universe talking to me. This is the best microfiber cloth in the universe. And remember, we're Americans, so we don't have healthcare, so I always carry emergency with me and ibuprofen. So that's very, very important to me. Also, I carry $2 bills. Whenever I'm at a restaurant, I think it's just really neat to give out $2 bills to the waitress as a tip or the waiter, and it just lights up people's day. So I think it's really, really cool. The lenses that I carry are the 35mm by Sigma with the adapter. I've had this for so many freaking years now. I do want to upgrade to the RF glass eventually because the adapter does get pretty annoying switching between the lenses. Then the 100mm, this is the most inexpensive one and the one that I've been recommending just to anybody that wants to get a very adequate piece of glass for portrait photography. There's also the 16mm 2.8 that I'm shooting this with. thing that I like the most is it gives me such a wide view and I can crop in and out in post. My new favorite toy though, and I have not shut up about it since I got it, is the Instax Mini Evo. They're just, I can't believe it. Very rarely do I get to say something is unique within the tech realm. Everybody just kind of copies one another. They're all doing the same thing, the same features, but this feels truly unique. It blends in like analog with digital. There's a lot of lens options to choose from, filters, but I think what will really drive people is the fact that you get to review the image before you print it. And this will save you a lot of money over time. As if you get the $70 one, you don't get to review your images beforehand, and then you're just misfiring a lot of the times. And it's just really awesome. I love that you can connect it to your phone so you can take pictures with your phone. So I'm gonna make a full review about it, I promise, soon. Then there's the more minute stuff like the Rocketblower. I'm pretty sure we all have the original Rocketblower. I just like this one because it's like 3/4 the size. Then there's Lenspens. I try not to carry these because I have lost so many of them that I had to constantly rebuy them. They just clean the lens really, really well. I like this one. The tiny microfiber one just comes in so freaking handy. The camera that I have, you know, it's the R5. I talked about it, made a review. It's really, really great. I've had it for a year. I'm thinking about making a review about it as I've used it for the year, but let me know if you want to see that. Something that I'm very proud of is that I had my SD card holder for so many freaking years, since I barely began, for 10 years. But unfortunately, as I got in CF Express cards, which if you did not get them on Black Friday, I feel extremely sad for you. That was the best price I've seen in such a long time. But this is my new favorite one. It's water resistant. And what's really neat about it is that it carries the micro SD cards, regular SD cards. I think you can even fit CF cards and CF Express Type B inside of here. I know it's like a simple touch, but they give you like these stickers that you can place onto your memory cards, but you can swap in and out, right? And they also come with an extra one just in case you lose it. But this is like a really nice gem, and it comes with a carabiner. I was looking for this for so many months and it just randomly popped up. There's also the camera strap that I have. This is from SJ Surplus. It's a local guy that makes them, and I've had it for probably 5 years now. I'll link down his Instagram down below. He told me that he made it from military grade fabric, whatever that means. I don't know. He just gave it to me. So I said, heck yeah, and I have 2 of these. And I will be extremely sad if I lose one of these. Every time I take it off, I just pray to God that I find it once again. My keys are a symbol of my mind sometimes, as there's just so much freaking going on in here. I have a paracord strap and a fire starter. Don't ask me why. I just really think it's cool to have a fire starter. The paracord, maybe one day it'll come in handy. It has not yet, but one day. That's why it's called an emergency. But speaking of emergencies, sometimes I have to interact with Windows computers. It is a pain in the butt since they don't have AirDrop. And getting the file, dropping it into your email client, sending it to your email, then downloading it, then placing it when you need. It's like, we've all been there. So I got this SanDisk USB, I think it's like $256. It's super inexpensive, but it's just nice to plug in because it has both USB-B and USB-C, which are the most common now. So I plug it into the Windows, then transfer it here, drag and drop, bada boom, bada bing, and then it goes into the MacBook with USB-C. My mind functions with Airtags. These things have saved me so much time and headaches from having to find something near me, and I really just cannot live without them anymore. Then lastly, I have the Canon battery charger. This is the one that came with the camera, and I carry it because it's much smaller if I'm just on a photo shoot. But there's always that thing in the back of your head where you're like, did I charge it? Did I actually see the green light, or was I just like hallucinating? So I try to carry this with me just in case one of the batteries failed, because that has happened where the battery has set 100% and then it just completely died out on me. And now I try to buy the Canon name brand batteries because I just think it's a very smart investment. You don't know where the lithium is coming from the knockoffs, and you live and you learn. That's what I'm gonna say. In no way, in shape, or form was this in any particular order. I try to carry as few things as possible. More specifically, when I'm carrying lenses. You don't know how many times I carried the biggest lenses, every single lens that I had. It took me so many years to come to the realization that I only need 2 lenses at most. And that depends if it's like a regular like friend get together, or like a portrait session. If it's a portrait session, it's a 35 and the 100. That's all I need to carry. No, nothing else. If it's some sort of social event where you're not getting paid or you're not having to do anything kind of extreme, then the 16 mil and the 35 work really, really well. The 35 is my baseline, so this always comes with me, like no matter what. And then with the health stuff, I just try to carry more like healthy things. You don't know how many times I've tripped and fell, and then the thing has gotten infected, and it's just like, am I gonna die today? Sort of situation, right? It's not gonna happen, but you know, your mind wanders off. And with smartphones getting really, really good, like I just feel the need to carry like less things than ever before. So all the stuff that I talked about, if there's reviews, my affiliate links will be down below. So remember, I do get a small kickback and it doesn't cost you anything and it would really support the channel. So make sure to check it out on there and let me know what you carry. What's your philosophy? What do you like to do when you carry your gear? And make sure to follow me on Twitter. Hopefully by now I will be a real boy and I will have my blue check mark. But as always, I thank you so much for your time and your attention. My name is Hongos, and I'll catch you in the next one.